That means my my keyboard hasn't been plugged in this whole time.
No, I don't know what happened.
Good morning. It is 11 o'clock and we are jumping into a 4-week series here, guys, and I'm just so excited to be here today. I am Meg Watson, if I haven't met you yet. I'm here in Charleston, South Carolina, and I am not a master of agent attraction. Would never claim to be, but I'm excited to be here today to share just anything that I can to help you guys through the process of where do I get started? What scripts do I use? Who do I talk to? Where do I find agents to really take advantage of this huge, amazing opportunity that eXp Realty provides us through revenue share and stock awards from attracting agents to the brokerage. So let's just jump right in. I know I had several other people. There we go. I see you guys now. Hi, everybody. I will ask that if you have questions or comments during this series, we are recording it. And I would ask that you please put your questions or comments in the comments section. Say hi to me, ask questions as we go. I will be checking those periodically. If you are watching live on Facebook, it's a little harder for me to see that, but if you leave comments, I can definitely come back and address those afterwards as well. But welcome, I'm excited. Let's jump in and start this awesome adventure. If I can get my screen to move, there we go. Financial freedom, personal freedom, and time freedom. 3 huge things, right, that we all strive for in any industry, in any career, just in life in general. I don't think you'd find too many people that would be like, nah, I don't really want financial freedom. Nah, time and personal freedom mean nothing to me, right? eXp provides us such a rare opportunity and a very different way to do that. But I want to talk first about how do most people get there? Through substantial outpouring of money, right? Substantial overhead from managing people. Usually to get to the top tier of income in an industry, you have to manage people. You have to deal with all the you know what. Every day, day in and day out, liability, stress, travel, countless work hours, time away from your family, and health sacrifices in the end typically come from the stress that most people have to outpour to get these 3 things. eXp offers us something so unique. And just to give you a tiny bit of background for those I haven't met, if I haven't met you, please send me a message on Workplace Chat, Meg Watson, and let's connect. I want to get to know all of our impact people in different cities that I haven't met yet. But to quick background, I've been in the industry 30 years this July, full time, kind of shows how crazy I am, I guess. And 23 years in, 7 years ago, this month, I was introduced to a tiny little brokerage named eXp Realty. Never heard of it, nobody had. Shelly Johnson, who started this awesome Impact Worldwide group, and Craig LePage, they reached out to me and said, Meg, we need you to vet this for us. Hear about this, it's a tiny company. So I did, and I watched a presentation And my life changed immediately. Like my thought processes, it blew my mind. I thought, if this could be where the industry goes, this little tiny company could totally change it. And it has. And it has afforded me a different lifestyle, not luxurious, right? I'm not in retirement yet. I'm not living in Tahiti, whatever. I am still in Charleston, South Carolina, where I love. But here's what it's done. My oldest daughter said something to my other two children a year ago, and it really opened my eyes to the perception of those around us when we're striving for success and the reality that we present for those around us. She said to my two younger kids, "You guys don't remember the old mom." And I was like, wow, what is she talking about? And she said, "You guys don't remember. She was never home. She was a broker, managing broker for large offices, large branches, or she was out showing houses, or she was working every weekend." And she said, "You guys don't remember mom that way." And I was like, wow. I go, "Honey, I'm sorry." And she's like, "No, I mean, it was a great example, but we just didn't see you as much." So anyway, EXP has changed a lot of that because it's afforded me some time freedom, some financial freedom through the revenue sharing opportunity. So that's why I'm passionate about it. That's why I love to share about it. I want you to know from day one here, I am here to help you and support you in any way I can. Just like I need to go support my dog for 20 seconds. Hold on 1 second. She is barking in the background, of course, when you start a live. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
It worked. No lost the truth. Oh, showed me.
Okay. Sorry about that. So what is our unique opportunity with EXP? We get to run our real estate businesses more seamlessly and efficiently through EXP tools, training, global services, referrals, the whole 9 yards. More closings, right, equals more commissions. So the more time effective we can be. So from a business standpoint, absolutely the best platform to run your business on. They then layer it with a huge opportunity to grow our income exponentially globally with no travel through residual income, with no overhead, with no startup costs. I mean, think about this. There's no other organization in any industry that says no money out of your pocket. You can go start a global organization and make money, right? We get to work remotely, more time with family, no management requirements. That was one of my biggest things. I had been in the management industry, management side of real estate for so long, and I was burnt out. And Shelly Johnson knew that. And when she called me, she said, "Meg, I know you enjoy building relationships with agents and helping them find better solutions and training and coaching. This is a way you can do that without being liable for their mistakes and without having to, quote, manage. You just get to support and love on people. And that's the part that I've loved. And then mainly the opportunity to change other people's lives. This chance is for everyone. It's for every single one of us. There's none of us that can't take advantage of it, which is huge. I think when you start with any process, with any endeavor in life, it's very important to describe and identify what is your why. Most of you guys that I know on here, you're big thinkers. You've already done this. But if you haven't, I have a challenge for you this week. We are going to have homework, guys, for 4 weeks. Sorry about that. But I feel like if you don't have assignments and things that you really want to focus on, it's just not going to be as impactful and beneficial. So I've done them all. I'll be tweaking mine as we go. And you guys help me learn every time I do this 4-week series. So I'm really excited about it. Until you know your why, there's no engine in your car. One of the best phrases I've ever heard, right? Until you know your why, there's no gas and fire making this balloon get off the ground, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about. Of course, my whys are my 3 awesome kids. to create unforgettable memories with them, which I have been able to, with revenue share, as a single income household, take them on a big, fun, memory building trip every year, at least one. And that was one of the goals that I set for myself. When I found this opportunity, I thought, okay, on top of my commissions, I've now got stock and I've now got revenue share. If I grow this, I'm going to take a percentage of that and devote it to making memories with my now adult children before they're married and before they have grandbabies and the trips cost me 10 times more, right? To create a life by design. I want things my way. For those of you that know me, I have a clear vision. I have always known what I wanted and I've always gone after it. But you have to say, what does my life by design look like? So I'm going to challenge you this week to think about that in detail and then to create and strengthen a legacy every day. Legacy to me means a lot. And those of you that know me well know that I lost my father extremely unexpectedly 12 years ago, and it rocked my entire world. He fell in a doctor's office bathroom, broke his neck, and passed away. Random freak accident, right? It changes your world when you wake up and realize life can be that short. And so in some ways, the first 5 years or so, I would say kind of it probably didn't so positively affect my life because it was just like, oh my gosh, anything that I don't love is out of my life right now. Like I don't have time. I've got to, it really changed me. But what it did do was show me what a legacy he left behind, which I knew he had. I knew both of my parents had. And it made me think so much about not only what legacy am I leaving for my kids. I don't mean that in a financial sense as much as I mean that in what have I done to make this world a better place, right? Who have I impacted? Have I changed lives? And when I saw this opportunity, I knew that this was a way for my kids to not only say someday, my mom was good at selling houses and her clients loved her, but man, look at these agents across the world that she was able to help find a better path for. And so that's what I mean by legacy. Five things define your future, guys. Your why, your goals, your plan, your passion, but most importantly, your action, right? So we can all know what our why is. We can know what our goals are for this year, for 5 years, for 10 years. We can even have a written plan for those goals. And you all know these people. I don't think any of you are on this call, but we all know them. They've got it all planned out. They've got their whole, plan of action, but yet they never take the first step into the action. And that's what I want to focus on in these 4 weeks is helping you guys with tools and tips and scripts to be able to jump into action because the only impossible journey is the one you never begin. My favorite saying by Tony Robbins. So if you haven't begun yet, this is your chance to really dive in. Homework assignment number 1, create a detailed list and vision board with photos of what long-term time and financial freedom look like for you. Okay, it's going to be different for all of us. And I would love it next week at the beginning of the session, if any of you have something you'd like to just share with the group and say, this is what I created, or this is what I have, this is what my digital vision board looks like, or this is what my vision board plastered on my wall looks like. Whatever works for you, please make sure that you have that life by design in a visual format. And identify exactly what that looks like. Where would you live? How would you be giving time and financial support to your family, to your community? What does that feel like, right? So that's homework assignment number 1, and we'll go over that again more at the end. So let's go. Financial freedom, next exit. Revenue share is a gift from Glenn Sanford. I say that at least 2 or 3 times a week to friends, to agents, on Zoom calls, whatever. To me, it's a gift that is sitting there in front of me, and whether I choose to open it and use that gift is my own choice. So will you receive it or will you reject it? Let's talk for a few minutes. I'm going to go way down to brass tacks. Okay. Week one, just this first part is for those that really don't have a clear understanding or are searching for a clear understanding of exactly what is revenue share, what does it look like, how is it paid. So be ready to type in any questions you have as we go through this. I want to make sure I'm as clear as mud, as they say. Agents pay EXP 20%, right, on each of their closings until they reach their annual cap of 16,000 each year. Then they jump to 100%. We're all clear on that? That 20% that is going to EXP before each agent reaches their cap every year, half of that is shared back to the agents who have helped the company grow. That's it. That's the easiest way to explain revenue share. We have a 50-50 initiative within EXP, meaning half of EXP's revenue, straight off the top revenue, guys. Not, sorry, I'm just gonna hit a couple of buttons there. Not profit, not after expenses. This is revenue, big time money gets shared back with agents that have helped the company grow. That's the way I explain it. All right. It's a monthly payment. It is a direct deposit. There are 3 streams of income within EXP. You have your stock once it vests. You have your stock awards, and we have a platform for that. You have your revenue share. That's a monthly direct deposit. Then you have your commissions, separate deposits. Okay. So it is a direct deposit monthly on the 22nd of each month, usually early. And it is shared 7 levels, tiers, generations, whatever word you like to use, deep. So I'm going to use a quick example. Going down the list of people on this Zoom. Sandy. Hi, Sandy. I love you. You look beautiful, by the way. Sandy is an agent here in Charleston. So let's just say she is in my group here, but she's not my level 1. But let's just say Sandy saw something I posted on Facebook about EXP and messaged me and said, hey, Meg, thinking about making a change. We meet. I get her on a Zoom call with one of my the leaders in my up team. She decides to make a move, then she is my level 1. I call them levels. Okay, so if you see tier throughout this or generation, all the same thing. Sandy then meets Daniel. Daniel is a friend of hers, let's just say from Wichita, Kansas. And she's like, hey, Daniel and I went to high school together. He's been in real estate forever. We've collaborated on a few things, or we sent a referral. We need to call Daniel and just see if he knows about EXP and how it's grown in his market. Daniel ends up coming on board. Daniel would be my level 2, Sandy's level 1. So on and so forth. Okay, so that's what we mean by 7 levels or 7 generations deep, is how that continues to grow. Here's the biggest thing about revenue share, guys, that was my decision maker as a single income household. I was adamant that I was going to create a financial legacy for my kids, as well as a legacy of being giving and helping others. And so this is willable to your heirs. Whoever you designate in your will to start receiving your revenue share upon your death. And by the way, guys, I want you to write this down in big print, and I should have put the link in here. Go into EXP World, go to the expert care office, and ask them where you find the form for identifying the person you wish to receive your revenue share upon your death. This is important because it's a fairly new step within EXP. And we didn't used to have to fill out a form for EXP to identify that. Now we do. It's simple, but please, I beg you, go find that form today and make sure that that is completed and sent back to the correct person, because that's where you will name to EXP who you're naming in your will. What happens then is, let's just say that you go, well, I don't have anybody licensed. They are going to have to be licensed. So think about that when you name your person. But they will have 6 months, it's either 6 months or 12 months. Somebody put in the chat if they know, after your death to go get a real estate license in any state in the US, hang that license with EXP and receive your revenue share. So your revenue share will be held until they get their license. If they fail to, though, it's gone. All right. So you do have a time frame that that person will need to become licensed. All right. So revenue share facts. These are important for other agents to know when you're talking to them. It comes out of EXP's 20%, right? Never comes out of an agent's pocket. Some of our competitors who may not know us well love to say, why would you want to go to work for a company that takes money out of agents' pockets? No, we never take money out of agents' pockets. It comes directly out of EXP's 20%. Okay? It is paid directly monthly deposit. It's inheritable. It's cumulative and compounding and just keeps going on forever and ever as long as all these agents in your 7 levels are still licensed with EXP. And biggest piece to this puzzle that I love, no geographic limits. So my organization, I have 360 currently in my EXP organization. I have only personally, level 1s, personally sponsored in or attracted 23 agents, I think, to the brokerage. Like, I have not put a lot of effort into that. It is not something, and I'm ashamed to say that it's changing this year. but just to show you, and I think sometimes it's good not to hear a Brent Gove teaching an agent attraction class, right? Or a Gene Frederick that has 20, 30, 40,000 people in their revenue share group. I'm just like you guys. I'm an individual agent. I don't have a team. I didn't own my own brokerage. I did not roll into EXP with people behind me already. I came in all by myself, and I was a first agent in Charleston and the 3rd agent in my entire state of South Carolina. So now I have agents in my group, my organization, that represent 22 states in the US and Mexico. And how does that happen? It happens from just what I was talking about with Sandy and Daniel, right? Sandy goes, oh, man, I should talk to so-and-so. Oh my gosh, I have friends that live in Dubai. They're into real estate. I need to talk to them about this opportunity, right? And one person knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. And all of a sudden you have an organization of beautiful, like-minded, growth-minded people that you get to learn and grow from. At the same time, they get to learn and grow from you. You get to pass around referrals like crazy. It's a blast. It's an absolute blast. Okay, we're going to get nitty gritty for about 10 minutes. So I need really solid focus for 10 minutes. I know that's hard. We're all realtors. But this is how the easiest way to describe how revenue share works. Okay, and I don't want you to only be able to describe it because you really don't need to do that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. I just want you to understand it. So please stop me. Please ask questions in the chat if you have anywhere you need me to stop on this. Follow my cursor. Can you guys see that okay? Like if I'm spinning it around the thing? Okay. So revenue share plan chart. You've got your levels over here to the left, 7 levels or tiers or generations, whatever you want to call them. We have what we call the expansion share over here, then exponential share. AGCI means adjusted gross commission income. That means the commission income amount, gross commission income that agent that you've attracted or somebody in your group has attracted is receiving at their closing. Okay, that's gross commission income. Then over here, you have frontline qualifying agent count needed. From here on out, that is being referred to as FLQA. See that over here? All right, don't get distracted. Don't look over there yet. So you're always paid on your level 1s. All right, always. The exponential share of 3.5% of your level 1 agent's gross commission income at closing automatically comes to you the following month on the 22nd. Okay. you see the 0 here of FLQAs needed. Why? You're automatically paid. You have no minimum requirement of level 1 agents needed to be paid on level 1. Everybody clear on that? What does frontline qualifying agent mean? Write this down. For my 23 agents, I currently have, I think it's 16. I didn't check in the last couple of days. 16 FLQAs, meaning that 16 of those 23 agents on level 1 have closed one of the following. They've closed one transaction in the past 6 months, rolling 6 months, constantly rolls every month, okay? They've closed one transaction equaling $5,000 in GCI, gross commission income, or they've closed 2 or more transactions in the past 6 months of any GCI amount. Okay? So it can be $1,000 that they made on a lease. That counts as a transaction. It can be $2,500 that they charge on their personal sale or whatever, right? So either one closing, $5,000 GCI past 6 months, or 2 closings, any GCI amount past 6 months. That keeps them qualified. Okay? You'll have a dashboard where you get to track all this good stuff. So when you look here at this frontline qualifying agent count needed column, the first number is all you really care about. To open up payment on level 1, you don't need anybody in your organization yet. The first person that comes in, you're going to automatically start getting paid. But if Sandy brought in Daniel, so Sandy's my level 1, she brought in Daniel, and I only have, let's say, 3 people that are qualifying on my level 1 or 4 people, anywhere between 0 and 4. This is what I'm going to get paid on Daniel, the expansion share. It's a little tiny bit, but it's still a gift, right? So if Daniel closes something and I'm still at 0 to 4 qualifying agents on my level 1, I'll just get that little 0.2%. Okay? Daniel brings somebody else in. Before I even have a chance to really start growing my level 1s, Daniel brings in a team consisting of Tracy Diamond, Jonathan Stone, and Mary Ruth from Utah. And I'm like, oh, holy cow, got 3 people on my tier 3 now. But I'll only be making 0.1% of their GCI until I reach the minimum of 10 qualifying agents on my level 1. Everybody following me? I see some nods. Okay, good. So it takes 5 qualifying FLQAs to open up payment on level 2. When I say open up payment, you look over here, it's expansion share payment. Exponential and expansion share payment combined. So once you reach that minimum number over here, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, or 40, these 2 columns get combined. So it's really 4% you're being paid on level 2. It's 2.5 on level 3, Okay? Questions. So 40 qualifying agents across your level 1, and you are paid on all 7, the full amount on all 7 levels.
So Meg,
Yes.
if you have, like I brought on that team and I have 7 level 2s, but I've only got 2 level 1s. Does the 5, but being at 7, does that get me the 4% on level 2 since I've still got the minimum on tier 1?
Okay, repeat how many qualifying you have on level 1.
2.
No.
So I have to
You
hit
have
4.
to have minimum of 5 on your level 1. This number represents qualifying agents on your level 1 that are needed to open up this full payment on the other tiers.
I got you.
Okay, so Jonathan, you are a great example, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, y'all, Jonathan is in Kentucky. He's in my organization. He's awesome, rock star agent in his market. And he has really been working on agent attraction and doing a phenomenal job. And he called probably 4 or 5 months ago now, Jonathan, right? 5 months, and said, hey, had a few conversations. Actually, the whole conversation started with an agent with, was it Remax? Keller Williams. Keller Williams calling Jonathan and saying, hey, do you want to join my team? Do you want to join my office? And he was like, no, but question for you. I know how you run your business. Have you looked into eXp Realty yet? And she was like, who's that? So started the whole conversation. She ended up moving her entire branch from Keller Williams. Thank goodness she was not a franchisee. And she was able to bring all of her agents from her branch to eXp about 6 weeks ago. So congratulations, Jonathan. So what happens then is Jonathan has 2 qualifying level 1 people right now, but Alexis, who the team leader that brought her team over, she's a level 1, but her agents are all his level 2, right? So they're crushing it. They're doing all these sales. Right now, Jonathan is only getting 0.2% of Alexis's agents. Once, Jonathan, you get 3 more qualifying agents on your level 1, then you're going to start getting 4% of all of her agents' gross commission income. So I hope that's helpful. It does definitely keep you motivated. There is a dashboard that shows you all of this. And thank you for clarifying that question, Mary Ruth. It is 12 months that your successor has time to get a license. So thank you for clarifying that. I always don't want to misstate anything. And Daniel, yes, referrals are included in qualifying. So absolutely. Yes, referrals are included. The GCI from those is included as a transaction. All right. Sorry, I wanted to take my time on that. And more importantly, I want you guys to hear this. And I'm crossing my fingers. I think I need to do share sound. I'm going to stop share really quick, guys, and just set this up so that you will be able to hear it effectively. Share sound. This is a video by Brent Gove explaining the power of revenue share. It is on YouTube. You can go to YouTube anytime you need this and type in revenue share calculator Brent Gove, and this will pop up. Okay, so take a listen. I think it's like 6 minutes.
You how revenue share does. Break it down. This is the part you gotta watch. It just blew me away. So we're not a franchise, we're a national company. And according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors, the average agent sells 6 homes a year. I've been talking about agents who sell 8 to 10. We're gonna bring it back to agents who just sell 6 homes a year. What would happen? And according to NAR, the average sales price coast to coast is $275. The average commission is 2.5, sadly enough. I know I get 3.5 on all my listings. Some of you get 3.
Just checking, y'all can hear that okay, right? Good, okay.
You'll make more. Some of you are a higher sales price. I might get 475. So, and I sell way more than 6, and I'm sure a bunch of you too. Again, it'll just be better. I'm dialing this back. I'm being conservative. So let's say the first year, just play along with me here. How many agents could you personally introduce to eXp? Could you do 5? I'm going to give you a 5-year plan, kind of like a 401k for real estate and an exit strategy. Not that you have to exit real estate, but how would you like not to have to work as hard as you've been working for all these years? So could you introduce 5 this year, and could you do that each year for 5 years? If so, at the end of 5 years, you will have referred 25 people to eXp. And in my example, I'm going to say who average 6 sales a year at $275 at a 2.5 commission. And then how many people do you think those agents get introduced over the next 5 years? What if they did 1 a year for 5 years? That'd be 5 in a 5-year period. And then the agents stay till even less, 3 in a 5-year period. The agents stay till even less, 2 in a 5-year period. That's like 1 person every 2.5 years. I'm really kind of dialing this back. Because you told 25, 20 unlocks level 5. And 25 gets you to level 6. However, you do not get paid on level 7. You must refer 40. You only did 25, so you're not going to be paid on level 6. So what this calculator does is it shows you your annual income, not one-time income, but your annual income with eXp through revenue sharing once you complete the above picture. Now people are like, what was the above picture? You personally referred 25 agents to eXp. Now I did 12 in my first 2 weeks. This is not hard to do, but 25 people to EXP in the next 5 years who average 6 sales a year, and they tell some of their friends, who tell some of their friends, it kind of compounds and accumulates out. Okay. And I always ask people, what do you think it'll be? And they're like, well, I don't know, like 80,000 a year, 180,000 a year. And one guy is kind of a math guy. He's, oh, no, it's going to compound. It's closer to 280, over $250,000. Well, here it is. And I promise you, this is not broken. It's $2.1 million a year is your annual income 5 years from now with EXP revenue sharing. Once you complete the above picture, which is right here. What is this? Can you refer, if you want to make 2.1 million a year outside of sales, because now you're not just a salesperson, you're building a real estate company with EXP, with me, with the person who invited you here. So could you have 25 people? There's 2 million out there. Could you find 25 who average 6 sales a year, not a month, a year at 275? Could you find those people? And then they tell some people who tell some people, tell some people. I went and did 25 in 3.5 months. I already have people that have done 5, 10, 15, 20, 23, 24. We haven't even plugged in any of those kind of numbers here. Again, you did the lion's share of the work. Nobody did anything like this. And there's your income, 2.1 million a year. Now, I was showing this to a friend of mine. He's like, hey, could you change that to 15? I go, sure, why? He goes, well, I'm not as outgoing as you, but I think I could tell 3 people this year. And if I did that each year for 5 years, I could refer 15 because I think this is more realistic for me. Like, okay, well, you lose level 6 because it takes 25 to get level 6 revenue sharing. You lose level 5 because you have to refer 20. Referring 15 will just get you paid on 3 levels. He goes, yeah, show me that. This is more me. I think I could do this in 5 years. I'm like, okay, well, before I do that, you need to know it is nowhere near 2.1 million. And now this is a friend of mine. He's like, I knew it was too good to be true. I knew it. I go, well, don't go crying in your beer because 655,000 a year is not bad. He's like, really? He's like, okay, I'm in. And he actually signed up and he's with me today. So if you'd like to make 655,000 a year 5 years from now, you just need to refer 15 agents to EXP who average 6 sales a year. Then each of those will start to tell some people who tell us, and it compounds and accumulates out. I'll end with this. I showed this to another friend up north of Farmtown. He goes, can you drop it to 10? I go, yeah, why? He owned an independent brokerage. He had 14 agents that worked for him. They said all my agents, they average probably 6. And this is actually sadly probably what my agents do, sleepy little farm town. Because I think 10 of them will sign it. He's a kind of a cowboy. He's like a big barrel chested guy. He goes, I think 10 of them will sign up for that deal. He called it a deal. It's pretty funny. And he goes, and I could see them doing this. And he goes, what would this earn me? I go, well, you're going to lose level 4 because you had to tell 15. You're only going to get paid on 2 levels. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I could see that happening for sure. And he's a 35-year independent. He goes, what would that earn me? I got to be honest with you. I was nervous to hit the go button. I'm like, what, 30, 40,000 a year? I'd never done anything that low. Well, how's $250,000 a year? 251,000 a year. Talk about a 401k for real estate. Or you could just not try. Well, I'm just going to stay with my old company and sell my tail off. Really, that's why I left Keller Williams, because I knew in 5 years I'd be 56 years old. I'd be selling my tail off then, just like I am now. I knew my future is predictable. So is yours. You'll be at Coldwell Banker in 5 years. You'll be at Remax in 5 years. Maybe you'll be doing luxury homes. Maybe this, maybe that. But you'll still be dealing with buyers who are upset because the home inspector missed the broken garbage disposal, or a seller who's upset because the buyer asked them to put a new roof on, and how dare them, and somehow you should have known. I mean, it doesn't change in 21 years. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to sell a ton of homes at Keller Williams or Remax or wherever I am. I might as well do it at EXP. By the way, last month is my 8th month at EXP. I shattered all my all-time personal sales records. No one cared at all that I was with a company they had never heard of. When I went to Keller Williams in 2009, people like, KW, what's that? I go, Keller Williams. They're like, what's that? I'm like, well, there's this company in Texas. They're really cool. Nobody cared then. Nobody cares now. They do business with you. How revenue share.
He's so good. I swear, I love that guy. So yeah, I wanted you to see that just because, and I will say there's a little bit of a preceptor to that video. That is not a video to just randomly send out to agents. okay? You could scare agents away that are not big thinkers. You could scare them away by them thinking, oh, this is the only thing EXP focuses on. This is something for you to have for your knowledge, to be able to rattle off some numbers and to learn. And I would say this is more something for a leader that you hop on a Zoom, you get an agent on a Zoom call with to share with someone. So please don't just go randomly sharing that with people. May not be quite as successful, but I think it's a great tool to show us the power, of where this can go. Now, how do I get off? There we go. This was from several years ago, a couple years ago, guys. I just did a screenshot. My FLA. So this kind of shows you what your dashboard looks like. My FLA at that time, I brought in 19 agents. My FLQA qualifying was at 13 that month, and this changes every month, which means unlocked 3 levels, correct? It's because I had 10 minimum FLQA. I had unlocked level 3. So I was getting paid levels 1. I had 19. Look what happens. This is the part that is awesome. My little 19 people knew how many people that then joined the company. Can y'all see that? 56. And those 56 people on level 2 knew another 56. And level 3, those people knew another 38. I was already down to 54 people on my level 5. And I just wasn't growing my level 1 across fast enough, right? So this income would have been 10 times more at least. But that month, $11,000 almost, right? So does that help with the bills? Does that help with saving? Does that help with retirement? Absolutely. Does it give you more time freedom? All the things we talked about, that is the gift, right? That is the gift. So it only takes a few agents is kind of what I wanted to show you. All right, we're going to get started. What do you need to do this week? All right, I'm going to try every week to give you specific actionable items. Take a picture of this if you can. Create a list. 100 agents is your goal to start with. Do you guys remember when you got into real estate, what was one of the first things that people said you needed to do? Anybody guess? You
got to create your sphere of influence list.
Correct. Thank you, Jonathan. You have to create the list of your connections, right? Who you're going to try to get business from. I'm here to tell y'all that agent attraction is so similar to building relationships with clients. It's no different. It's just a little bit different script. That's it. But your methods are almost exactly the same. And it's so much based on relationships and building relationships and being a cheerleader to agents that you want relationships with. No different than being a cheerleader of friends, family, neighbors, coworkers that you want to sell a house to, right? But until you have that database, your hands are tied. So that's this week. Create a list of all agents you would like to partner with. The beauty of EXP is we get to choose. Sandy, you're about to chuckle. I think you're the only local one here in Charleston on here right now, but you're going to chuckle because you'll know exactly who I'm going to refer to in a second. There is an agent. I'm not going to name a company even. It's a female who posts on Facebook the cringiest stuff, right? And makes everybody just go, did she really just post that? And like brash and rude and crude. You couldn't pay me enough to want that person to be a partner with me, right? So guess what? I'm never going to talk to her. You don't want her to be with EXP. We get to choose, and I love that. So where do you start? Local. Go on Facebook. Look through. You can type in Realtor Charleston in the Facebook search bar. We have, I know here in Charleston, a Facebook group called Charleston Realtor Network, right? Go find your Realtor Network Facebook page in your city and start looking through posts. What agents are rocking it? What agents are crushing it? Who seems to have positive outlook on things? You don't want the ones that are getting on there griping and moaning 24/7, right? But go on Facebook and find out who locally you would like. Go to realtor events. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Who have you met at realtor events? Go through your list of who you've closed transactions with locally. All the agents that you've closed transactions with, you know how they operate. You know if you created a good relationship with them or one that you'd like to build. Then you go from local to out of area. Go on your Facebook, go to current friends, and look through your current friends. If you don't recognize their name, 9 times out of 10, somehow they've connected with you on there through real estate. So you probably have realtors on there you don't even know you have. Look them up, find out a little bit about them. Stalk them. Man, we got to be stalkers sometimes when it comes to recruiting and finding clients and finding agents. Another thing for out of area would be friends, family. Where are you from? What friends of yours that you went to high school with, college with, that you used to have jobs with? Are they in real estate and where? International, think big. And I'm going to have some suggestions on these scripts as we go. Co-broke and referral agents. Who have you sent referrals to? Who sent referrals to you? This is global, guys. Anywhere across the country, who gave you a referral? Former coworkers, friends who you think would do well in real estate. Jonathan, you're really good at this. And he and I have had discussions about it's a little bit harder to get a brand new agent up to FLQA status and keep them there than it is obviously to bring in somebody that's a little more seasoned. But we want new agents on level 1 too, and give them the same opportunity for growth and retirement that we have. Family in real estate, social media real estate friends, and friends of your family and friends. So here you go. Giving you your first little script here. I'm going to ask you this week, as part of your homework, to send this text message to 100 friends or family members. All right? Super easy to do. You copy and paste and fill in their name and maybe one extra sentence, right? Customize it a little bit. Hi, Jonathan. I pray all is well with you and your family. Or I'd love to catch up with you soon. I haven't talked to you in so long or something. Hope your family's well. I have a quick favor to ask. I'm going to stop right there for a second. These are friends and or family that are in your phone. If they texted you saying, I have a quick favor to ask, how likely are you going to be to respond favorably to that question and try to help them? Okay. So I have a quick favor to ask. I'm expanding my real estate referral relationships as well as expanding my team across the globe and wondered if you could share 2 or 3 names of well-respected realtors in your area or friends or family you have who are realtors. I would like to connect with them to see if we could establish a working relationship. Do you have a few names you could send my way? I appreciate your help. I would love to catch up very soon. What does your calendar look like? Right? Simple. So that's part of your homework. And it's easy, easy peasy. You could literally accomplish it within an hour. Just go into your phone, copy, paste, insert a quick sentence, shoot it off. Okay? That's one way to add to your list very quickly. Then you also have a personal connection. So we're going to talk more about that next week. Social media is your friend as far as ways to add to your list, how to create this list, how to grow this list. Video is also your friend. Connect with agents everywhere. So if you go in your Facebook and go, Meg, I really only have like 20 realtor friends. Well, let's change it. How do you change it? You go in, you look in different cities, right? Like Atlanta Realtor. Type in Facebook in the search bar, Atlanta Realtor. You're going to be able to see who the ballers are by their posts. Friend them. Why not? If nothing else, you may get a referral out of it, right? So connect with agents everywhere. Facebook, get on real estate groups. Get on groups that have to do with your hobbies, your past career. Create a group linking your careers. I have recommended this to so many people, and I think for so many people it can be a really beautiful thing. Firemen in real estate, nurses in real estate, You know, I mean, it can be anything. Former teachers or teachers in real estate. Do you know how many teachers, firemen, and nurses have their real estate license? A lot. So bring people together by forming that. Now, it needs to be something that you either did in your past or have connections, you know, and you can kind of talk both industries. But great way to start pulling people in and building more connections with realtors across the country. Post videos on LinkedIn. Do constant posts on LinkedIn about, hey, I want to build my referral business. Let's connect. Where are you? I want to learn more about you. Let's hop on a Zoom. Instagram videos, make yourself stand out, right? Do EXP posts, you know, when you're at an event. I hype up events on my Facebook, on my Instagram, every time I go somewhere. Ideal Estate, I used this for a while. It's also a fairly good resource. It is a pay service, but it's also a pretty good resource to connect with agents. And then on all of these platforms, what is your goal? Your goal is to start building trust and rapport with agents. And the best way to do that, you know this from trying to build trust and rapport with clients, you celebrate their wins, you nurture them. If you see a post about a struggle that they're having in their life, you send them a private message. Like, hey, I know I haven't gotten to meet you, but man, I am praying for you and your family right now. You know, or I'm so sorry to hear about your nephew. It's all just little trust building. If you're sincere, obviously, if you're not sincere, don't do that. But celebrate their wins, validate them every chance you get. It's all about loving on people and starting to build that relationship. Lastly, to add to your list, get out of the house, y'all. Get out there. Surround yourself with your future partners. NAR events, even though we're not all very big fans of NAR right now. NAR events, state realtor events, state legislation, you know, committees, things like that. Get involved. Your local board, your local MLS, real producers. Do you guys have real producers in your market? It's a magazine. Get in touch with somebody in your market that does real producers. The person that's in charge of the Real Producer magazine in your market can be a huge person to connect with. I love our guy here in Charleston. And he, you know, does events all the time. You go there and it's people that are with all different brokerages. So it's really fun. It's really exciting. And, you know, it's a great way to build connections with agents from other brokerages and start building that relationship. Face-to-face is always the best connection. So any way you can get out, ask your waiter or waitress, hey, have you ever considered real estate? Like seriously, some waiters and waitresses are missing the boat because they have great personalities. Yes, Jonathan, you're great at that. I know you've talked to people in coffee shops. And
that's what I started him with, serving and bartending.
Yes, I'm telling you, and it's a great place to meet people. I am not giving you an excuse to go drink at the bar every day, guys, but you know, if it can build your business, why not? I'm just kidding. All right, we're going to talk for a few minutes about attracting versus recruiting. I'm here to tell you that in 7 years, I have seen a lot of people come into EXP and get super excited about revenue share. And what do? They immediately start vomiting EXP on everybody. Oh my God, you have to hear about this. This is the best company since sliced bread. You're going to make millions. This is no. That is total recruiting. That is the equivalent of literally taking them by the shoulders and pushing them away from them. That's what you're doing. Okay. What we want to do is we want to attract, we want to pull agents toward us. Same with clients. You put things out on social media about your wins, your successes, your testimonials from clients. You're attracting buyers and sellers to you. We need to attract other realtors to us. Ways to do that. Social media is number one, guys. So if you're on here saying, I'm just not a big social media person, well, I don't know what to tell you. You need to become one because it is magic. It is free. Let's say that again. It is free and it is magic. So learn strategies. We're going to talk quite a bit about that in the next few weeks, but guess who's joining us next? You look at my Facebook, my personal Facebook page. No, I don't do a business page. I have beliefs both ways on that. Never done it. A, I don't have the time to manage it. B, I've always said this, I want my clients to see that I'm a real person. I want them to see this stinking cute little dog that is on my Facebook sometimes, right? I want them to see my kids. I want them to see me making Thanksgiving and enjoying it with my family. You know, I want them to see me having fun with friends. I'm a real person, but I also interject a lot of business. So I've always had success with that, but you do you, and you do whatever your social media person tells you to do. Sorry, Amazing. She doesn't like it when I move her. Social media, engaging content. Guess who's joining us next? You'll see stuff like this on my page. EXP is expanding to another country, learning together in yet another great class. People need to see outside of EXP that just because we don't have brick and mortar doesn't mean we don't share and we don't grow and we don't learn, right? On an exponential level. So another huge producer joins EXP in Kansas. Guys, does that agent need to be in your organization? No. Steal everybody else's announcements that you see on EXP agents on their pages. I do it all the time. When it's a big hitter, like when Jay Kinder, who is #1 in Coldwell Banker in the world, joined EXP about 5 years ago, I was blasting that all over the place. Jay Kinder has nothing to do with me. You know, he didn't even know me until I stuck my face in front of him at an event. So, you know, you can do things like that to bring attention to the greatness of EXP. Bring in, here's another big thing. You go, well, Med, I don't have 360 agents, or I'm not a Brent Gove. I don't have 26,000, whatever he has. Use other people's stories until you have your own. All right, let that sink in. You have a huge up team of support in this company. You're gonna be introduced to a few of them throughout this series. We're gonna talk about how to connect with them throughout this series. They are the ones that have the stories way bigger than my story. I don't even tell my story. I'm a peon. I tell Brent's story. I bring Brent into a 3-way call, or I've just memorized Brent's story. So I'm gonna have you write this down. This week, and I'm not sure if this is in our homework at the end or not, look up Gene Frederick's story, memorize it. Go to a video that Gene Frederick, where he talks about EXP, and he'll say he was the regional owner for Keller Williams in the most profitable sector. I think it was 3 regions in California, some of the most expensive real estate in the country. He was the owner of those regional franchises. And he walked away from it all when he heard about EXP, because Keller Williams is profit share. EXP is straight revenue share. And there are powerful little pieces of stories that you need to be able to regurgitate and to learn and to know. Look up Brent Gove. If you don't know his story, send Shelley Johnson a message. Send Craig LePage a message. Send Brent a message on Workplace and say, do you have a quick bio, a synopsis of your story of how you got started with EXP? Memorize it, learn it, because you will be telling other people's stories until you make your own, which is a beautiful thing. Make it fun. Celebrate your successes, guys. You know, well, I don't like to post when I had a closing because I might be bragging. Brag, but do it in a nice, loving way, okay? You know, hey, congratulations to my clients. I couldn't do this business without you. I couldn't have the career that I have for my family without these people, right? There are ways to make it a gratitude, fun celebration post instead of bragging, all right? When you're recruiting, you throw EXP in their faces, you have to hear all about this. It's the best thing since sliced bread. EXP is so awesome. I, instead of them. And so we're going to talk about a ton of strategies for all this. My dad always said this phrase, and it just has always stuck with me when it comes to any kind of attracting people to you, friends, coworkers, family that you might, not get along as well with, whatever it may be. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So when you're talking to agents, make it about them. Identifying pain points. It's a big thing we're going to talk about next week. The power of connection is your key to success. If you don't walk away with anything today from today's session, I want you to start really identifying yourself as a connector when it comes to agent attraction. Okay? In our real estate business, is it not really valuable for us to be a connector for our buyers and sellers? Right? We connect them with the best inspectors. We connect them with home warranty people. We connect them with attorneys. We connect them with lenders. We feel like we're giving because we're connecting. Agent attraction is no different. You, and I'm not meaning this in an ugly way, I'm saying this, I preach the same thing to myself. I am never the reason someone comes to EXP. You are not going to be the reason someone comes to EXP. The way that you connect them with the right people above you is what's going to bring them to EXP. The people that had the same pain points that team leader has, or the people within EXP in your upline that had the same brokerage pain points that person had. That's where knowing people's stories or reaching up to me or Shelly or Craig or Brent or someone to say, hey, who should I connect this agent with? Right? Jonathan, you did a beautiful job with Alexis. That is why Alexis and her whole team moved. You were phenomenal, right? But I think you would agree, you did a ton, but the real reason was she felt important, connected. We kept moving her up the chain, all the way to a huge meeting with our corporate financial staff to run numbers for her. That makes people feel special. So if you think of yourself as, my words are not what's going to bring somebody to the EXP. My job is to get them interested enough, get that little hook in there to say, would you be willing, if I can set up a time with one of the leaders who I think you could really relate to in your business, would you be willing to hop on a Zoom call with us? Okay? Connection. You're going to hear this throughout the whole 4 weeks. This whole thing, guys, is way bigger than us individually. There is absolutely, positively nothing that we could have personally done, or even Gene Frederick by himself could have personally done to make this company what it is today. Glenn Sanford couldn't do it by himself. Gene, Brent, we've all worked together by supporting each other and helping each other have conversations with agents. If everyone had tried to grow this company without the help of their support group, I kid you not, EXP would be less than a third of the size that we are today. So you're not in this alone. We're not here to do it alone. And I'm going to talk to you a lot about how we help connect people. Well, I can do this a new way. Yeah, right. We all love to think that way. It's like, oh, well, I got it. And people will literally sit in paralysis by analysis, right? For months. And I've watched it. I've got a different way. What if we did this? What if we did this? Reinventing the wheel is neither productive or necessary, guys. Brent Gove is here to tell you how it works. Gene Frederick, Cliff Freeman, AJ Maida, Shelly Johnson, Craig LePage, Jay Kinder, all the big leaders in this company have all done it the same way. So we don't need to reinvent the wheel. I absolutely love this little meme. No thanks. We're too busy. We're too busy trying to create our own wheel, right? So we don't need to do that. We're going to follow the steps, and mastering the third-party validation meeting is the first biggest one. Being a connector, getting people on a third-party validation Zoom is super critical. You do not have to talk EXP. We don't want that to be your focus, right? I'm now at the point where that is more my focus and I enjoy it. And I'm on Zoom calls almost all day, every day. Shelly is on Zoom calls all day, every day. Brent is on them. We're doing third-party validation calls to help you guys speak EXP. We would rather you still be focused on growing your business and being in masterminds to grow your business and focusing on sales until the point that you're ready to give up more time for the agent attraction. So we're all stronger together. We're all here to help. And we're going to talk about that validation call real quick. We're almost done. The art of a three-way call. Gene Frederick created this. It's his rule of thumb, and it works. If you are the one that has piqued the interest of an agent to get them on a call with a leader within the company who, and get this verbiage down, however it's comfortable to you, but, hey, Jonathan, I understand where you're coming from as a team leader and some of the frustrations. I thank you for sharing those with me because you, as the agent, has already dug and asked the right questions, right? If there's someone within the company that I really know without a shadow of a doubt, because I know them well, has had the same frustrations you have, that may be able to give you some insight on either ways to fix it where you currently are or potential ways to fix it, possibly through EXP. Would you be open and willing to hop on a 30-minute Zoom call if I can get that scheduled with Gene, or whether it's Brent or Meg or whoever, right? So once you've gotten there, you line up the call, send everybody the Google invite, everybody's on board, knows the Zoom link and all that. You talk for 15 seconds, edifying the person you've asked to lead the Zoom. So, hey, Susie, this is Gene Frederick, and you know Gene's story. And if you don't know it, then if you've got another leader on there, message them before and say, hey, what do I say for 15 seconds about Gene, right? Edify Gene. He's amazing. He's one of the most giving people in the company. He has an organization of 50,000 agents, blah, blah, blah. Then you move on to 45 seconds of edifying the agent who is the guest. Okay? Man, this is Alexis. She's in Kentucky. She runs a great office for Keller Williams. Her team is so behind her 100%, whatever she decides to do, which shows me she's an amazing leader. I'm so excited. Her mindset is very growth. She has a growth mindset. We think a lot alike, and I'm just really excited for you two to connect. And you mute your mic and you sit back and let that leader of EXP just take over and ask the questions. They know what to ask. They know how to start moving things forward. Okay? So your job is just one goal. Show them that a call with leadership that has some of the same pain points they do is worth their valuable time. Why do they work? Every time. Why do they work? People want to feel connected and they want to feel wanted. They want to feel like they're important. Is there anyone on here that would say, no, I don't like to feel important? We all do. We all like to feel important. So Sandy, if someone called you and said locally, hey, Sandy, you want to come have coffee with me and learn about Remax? That feels a little different than them calling and saying, hey, Sandy, I've been watching your business and I looked in MLS. I've watched you for a year. I see that you've grown your business by 34%. And I want to commend you on that. First of all, that's freaking huge. I'd love to know more about how you did that. And I think we always stand to learn something from each other. Could we sit down and just have a brainstorming session together, right? That feels way different. You feel admired. You feel honored to get that phone call. And then when you sit down, start digging. And we're going to talk about how to find pain points, questions that find pain points. And then just say, hey, what would you think about hopping on a call for about 30 minutes? So if I could get a meeting set up with one of my partners this week, would you give us 30 minutes? It makes them feel important. You learn from every third-party validation call, which I love. I just used to sit there with my mouth hanging open. I still do. I still learn strategies and tips and techniques from these leaders as I'm just sitting back and able to take it all in, right? They are much less likely to cancel when there's more than one person involved in a meeting, particularly when it's not a local person. Let's think about this for a minute. Sandy, if the managing broker of Remax called you, or let's even go a step further, the owner of Remax local franchise called you and said, hey, I really want to talk to you about being a part of our team. Does that feel different to you than an agent that you've done transactions with Remax calling you and saying, hey, I want to talk to you about maybe, doing some more stuff together? You'd probably be intrigued by the agent, but does it feel a little more, do you feel a little more important by the owner calling you? I guess would be my question. Okay. You look at the bottom here. Friendships are just that. And co-working relationships are just that. You're either considered by them as a friend or a peer. Peers do not influence other peers to make huge decisions in their career. They may get them to the point where they're willing to listen, which is great. But again, it's going to really help to say, I have someone from Puerto Rico, Brent Gove, that wants to get on a Zoom call with us. Or I have our corporate financial team that consists of people from all over the world that want to jump on a call and just run numbers with you. That's a whole different level, right? So making them feel important. People are attracted to success stories, and let them be shared on these calls. It's amazing. So we're going to go over tons of scripts next week, starting next week. The next 3 weeks, every single session, you're going to come away with a lot of scripts. 4 more minutes and we're going to wrap up today. Here are just some little things for this week that I think could be beneficial to you. Because you are going to be asked to reach out to some people this week as you're creating that list. Hey, Jonathan, your name came up when I was talking in our mastermind group this week. Mastermind group is a big thing because how many Keller Williams offices and Remax offices and Century 21 offices and Coldwell Banker offices do you know that have agents that have mastermind groups each week together? No, it never happened in the 23 years I was with them. So then that tweaks their interest, like, what's a mastermind group? But anyway, acknowledge them. Just say, hey, your name came up and we were talking about just your success this year, and we're really impressed. And I know the market's a little different, but you're crushing it. We've created a global realtor network called Impact. We're doing a lot of big things to supporting each other, including referrals back and forth all over the country, all over the world. If I could line up a time with one of my partners for a Zoom call, would you be willing to talk with us for about a half hour? Yes, part of it's going to be about EXP, but a big part of it is going to be learning how, whether you're with us or not, we could best support you in your growth as a realtor. That's our goal. I promise it'll be worth your time. Energy and confidence wins every single time. Think about how you're sitting when you make a call. Think about standing. Standing is huge. Energy. It exudes energy. I'm a communications major. So if I stand up, I get way more animated and I'm but energy exudes through a phone call. So have energy, have confidence, be quick, don't drag it out. Come from a place of love and contribution and be in the business of changing lives. So these are ideas for your initial meeting invite. This week, as you create your vision and run towards it, define your vision, write it down. I advise having a little tiny laminated piece of something that you can stick in your wallet that just, when you go to pull out your debit card or your license every time, you see it, like a one sentence or your vision statement. I think it's really important. Review it twice a day, take action, call 10 agents per week, go big. We're going to talk a lot next week about whales and what it means to get whales on your level 1 rather than tiny fish. And then surround yourself with other lion chasers. Think to yourself this week, who am I surrounding myself with within the impact organization? Who do I want to step up with? And right now I'm going to ask you if you can quickly put in the chat box if you have an accountability partner for agent attraction, or if you are willing to find one person through this 4-week series that you can run with and you can bounce ideas off of and you can script practice with. So either put in the chat, need an accountability partner or have one. That's fine if you're already working with someone. I think Jennifer Pratt is on here, or she was. She might have had to hop off. Jennifer and I have been running buddies for Agent Attraction for going on 3 years now. And every week you look at our calendar and there is a 2-hour window time blocked where we get on a Zoom together and we role play. I mean, we call agents live. She mutes herself and listens to me calling agents, trying to set up appointments. And it's been phenomenal and energizing. So I encourage you to do that. All right, here's homework. If you can please take a picture of this, I'm going to wrap this up so you guys can get on with your day. Super excited about next week. Lots and lots of scripts coming your way. So I can't wait. Please, if you haven't, mark your calendar for the next consecutive 4 Wednesdays at 11 a.m. I personally like it a lot when you are on the Zoom because it allows me to interact with you a little bit easier and see your face instead of just knowing that you're watching live. So it makes me feel less lonely. I love it. So find an accountability partner for these 4 weeks today. Whether you love that person, like that person, whatever, write down the names. We've got Jonathan Stone, Daniel Max. You can connect with all these guys on Workplace. Tyler Miles, MYLES, Tammy Fisher, Penelope Hayes, Victoria Kaminsky, Jennifer Pratt was on here. Blythe, tell me your last name again. I'm drawing a blank. You're so sweet. You've been on here before. I think you're muted. Sorry. Anyway, put it in the chat. I get, and then Mary Liz James, it's good to see you. You're always on here. Sandy Beasley, she's awesome. She's right here in Charleston. So connect with each other on Workplace Chat today, guys. Look on Facebook that Laura Straitman commented on Facebook that I can see right now. Connect with these people. Find yourself an accountability partner and say, hey, are you willing to commit 2 hours a week to being on a Zoom together? And let's knock this stuff out together and make some calls together. It will really help you. Write out your why and your freedom vision. Do an electronic vision board if you want, or on paper. Show it to us next week. Ramp up your social media. Find more people to connect with on social media. Send out the 100 friends and family texts that I provided the script for. Create your agent list. 50 minimum, but 100 is ideal. From all those sources we talked about. Input your agent list into KV Core. So the best way to create that list, by the way, is Excel. If you want to go straight into KV Core, fine, if you're really good at that already, but create it in Excel, which is always easily downloadable into any CRM system that you may be using. But you can definitely set up drip campaigns for these agents through KV Core, guys. It's beautiful that we're provided that system already. And then meet face-to-face or Zoom with your accountability partner at least once in the next week. Call 10 agents each, okay? Just make an initial conversation. Just say, I'd love to get together with you. I haven't had a chance to catch up on what's going on in your business. I love to stay connected with people I've done business with, whatever you want to do. Invite 2 co-broke agents to coffee or lunch and try to get 3 appointments for 3-way calls. I think it's amazing. You got to set goals, right? Let's make this the week that begins your trajectory. And I just want you to know I'm here to help. I'm here to support. Texting, honestly, guys, is the best way to connect with me. I will admit that I don't like email so much because I get too many, but I'm willing to put my cell phone number. I'm going to put it right here in the chat for you. Definitely reach up to your up team as well. If I am not a part of that, but I am here to help anyone. So if there are specific questions that I can answer, there we go. Daniel Max, MAX, wants an accountability partner. So please message him. Tracy Diamond and Tyler Miles. Yay. Okay, she put on there. So please connect. Look at the names on here real quick before you get off and connect and take advantage of those connections. What do we expect the next 3 weeks? Lots and lots of scripts. for individual agents, for team leaders, and for brokerage owners, which is a huge opportunity this year, you guys. Huge. They're dying. Understanding EXP's value for each of those groups. Scripts for identifying pain points, and then role playing and objection handling with two very special guests. And I'm not going to tell you who they are because I don't want you to only attend that session. So you're going to have to wait for it. I'm not going to tell you when they are and who they are. But basically, my goal, guys, is to give you a launch pad through the help of these guests and stealing all this information from other agents. I just want you to have a launch pad for incredible things to come. So thank you so much for being on here. Any questions that I have not addressed today? Look at the chat here real quick. I think we're good. Let's see. Look through past closings for agents you liked working with. Yes, that was Jennifer. Tom, where you get the calculator from Brent Gove is going to YouTube and typing in EXP revenue share calculator Brent Gove. EXP revenue share calculator Brent Gove. Okay. I think we made it through everything, guys. You're welcome, Tammy. Thank you all so much for being here, and I'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. Take care, guys.